Who was Osman Ghazi? The year 1258 was the deadly year the Islamic world will never forget. By the command of Hulagu Han, the Abbasid Caliphate was torn to pieces. The Mongols not only burnt and destroyed all the greatest books written by the greatest Islamic scholars, but also killed women, children, young, old. Anyone they found was immediately put to the sword. The only ones who were left alive were those Christians and Jews who took refuge from them, and few Muslims who hid in unstable wells, forests, and barren lands survived. However, those who could not save themselves were killed in such a way that there were streams of blood flowing in the streets of Baghdad. On the other hand, the Byzantine Empire too was declining, as the Latin Knights of the Fourth Crusade had taken Constantinople, the capital city. Then, after the Battle of Kusadagh ended with victory for the Mongol invaders, the Seljuk Sultans were reduced to vassals. The Islamic world was in desperate need of a leader. However, the year 1258, the same year that Mongol tyranny had destroyed the Islamic world, a leader was born. He would be a tall man with very broad shoulders. He would be a brilliant leader. He would be the best known rider and swordsman. He would be fair, brave, and gracious. He would help the poor. He would be such a man that his existence would give a sigh of relief to the oppressed and terror to the oppressors. He was none other than Osman I, son of Ottoman Ghazi, leader of the famous Kai tribe. When Osman was born, Ottoman Ghazi was around 67 years old, and Helime Sultan too was around the age when normally women could not have children anymore. Osman was considered a miracle sent by God. Osman was attached wholeheartedly to a famous scholar named Sheikh Adabali. He often went to meet him. Once, Osman slept at the shrine of Sheikh Adabali. He dreamt of a moon which moved from the heart of his sheikh to his heart, and a tree grew from his side which continued to grow even though its branches covered the whole earth and ocean. The four largest rivers of the world were flowing out from the roots of the tree. The four largest mountains of the world were supporting its stem. Then, air started blowing very fast, and the leaves of the tree were blowing off in the direction of the great city, which was located at the junction of the two largest continents and the two largest oceans, and appeared like a ring. Osman wanted to wear this ring, but he woke up. When Osman explained his dream to Sheikh Adabali, he congratulated him and told him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen you and your children for serving Islam, and my daughter, Bala Hatun, will be married to you. The rivers in the dream of Osman were Tigris, Euphrates, Nile, and Danube, and the mountains were Tur, Balkans, Qaf, Atlas. Afterwards, in the age of Osman's children, the empire reached these mountains and rivers, and so the dream was an actual prophecy of the expansion of the empire. The city in the dream was Constantinople, which was soon to be conquered by the heir of Osman Ghazi, Sultan Muhammad Fatih. After Ottoman Ghazi passed away, Osman, who was just 23 years old, became the leader of the Kai tribe and started to expand the borders of his father's territory. Osman Ghazi became known as an expert in war and peace, and with the Mongols wreaking terror across Anatolia, many refugees joined the Beylik of Osman, increasing the number of warriors in his tribe. His eldest brother Gunduz was his most trusted commander, while his other brother Savji Bey was his most trusted advisor, and later fell as a martyr in the Battle of Eskachi in 1287. Both helped him greatly during his conquest. Around 10 years after Osman had become Bey in 1299, he symbolically created an independent state when he stopped paying tribute to the Mongol emperor. And so Osman and his men started the expansion of the empire, acquiring the key forts and cities of Eskişehir, İnönü, Bilecik, and eventually Yenişehir, where he established a capital of the new Ottoman state. This gave the Ottomans a strong base to lay siege to Bursa, which they also acquired after a 5-year-long siege. Bursa was a major commercial center which opened up the new state to the rest of the world. From that point on, the Ottoman state was an important player in the events and decisions affecting the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Besides military actions, Osman Ghazi also established all new measures to form a new empire, such as establishing new laws, minting the first Ottoman coins, and Osman was the first to levy a tax of 1 akçe. There were many battles between Osman and Emir Akhlinos, a Byzantine commander. But at last, the Christian commander had given the control of the city to Osman. Akhlinos was so inspired by the faithfulness of Osman that he embraced Islam. Osman gave him the title of Bey, and later on he had become one of the greatest commanders of the Ottoman Empire. Many commanders of the Byzantine Empire were so impressed with Osman's personality that a time came that the Ottoman Empire was full of new, former Byzantine Muslim commanders. As a ruler and commander, Osman was known to be just in his decisions and his treatment of all citizens, regardless of ethnicity or religion. On his deathbed at Sout, according to the legend, Osman gave his son Orhan his final advice. "My son, I am dying, and I die without regret because I leave such a successor as you. Be just, love goodness, and show mercy. Give equal protection to all of your subjects, and extend the law of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Such are the duties of princes upon earth, that it is thus that they bring on them the blessings of heaven." In recognition of the importance of the victory, Osman then directed Orhan to bury him at Bursa and to make it the capital city of the new empire. Shortly after, Osman died at the age of 67 in 1326. As requested, he was buried at Bursa in a beautiful tomb which was to stand as a monument to him for several centuries later. All he left behind was horse armor, a pair of high boots, a sword, a lance, a wagon, a few horses, 3 herds of sheep, as well as salt and spoon containers. He led a simple life. He never gathered belongings. He always divided the loot between soldiers after giving a portion to the orphans and the poor. He was so generous, merciful, and hospitable. He always dealt with justice. That is because of those good doings that even today he is still respected by all who utter his name. And to this day, there has not been a single family in Islamic history that has been able to give talented and worthy rulers such as the Ottomans, or even rule for as long as 600 years. This was the father of the mighty Ottoman Empire, Osman Ghazi. Today he is buried in his tomb in Bursa, Turkey. He has always been remembered in the hearts of all Muslims.